Hey everyone, how's everybody doing today? I just put it that I was live in like every chat that I'm in. So just wanted to hop on today. It's not looking like a great day in the market. So I wanted to hop on, say what's up, get some clips, talk about what I think I might be doing. What's going on, Sisk? I don't know what this guy's username is because it's just a little dot. Sam, what's going on? Hope you guys are doing all right. I'm gonna just shoot the shit for a couple minutes, and then we can chat and we can discuss everything else that's going on. And yeah, I'm uh, I feel fine, mainly because I'm stabled. I'm sure if you guys have watched me in the past, you guys know already that I am a big fan of stables and have been stabled for quite a while now. So I can get into that a little bit too. We can talk about what that looks like. But yeah, why don't we just say what's up? And if you're somebody who is obviously like in the market, like I don't have all the answers, of course, but um, I think it would be a good day for us to hop on and chat about just everything that's been going on recently. I've been a little inconsistent with the streams. I apologize for that. I've been honestly trying to do a lot of back end work on Kanto and just pushing out content and working on deals and all that kind of stuff. So apologize for the no streams recently. I did just make my coffee, so we can have our morning coffee, even though I realize that it's 2 p.m. for a lot of people already. But I also know that everybody's in different areas of the world and everything. So yeah, I'll start just by saying I hope that everyone's doing okay. I know that this cycle has been really hard to navigate so far, uh, especially like at this stage. This guy goes, "We want deep insight about what is happening and what will happen in the trenches in the next days. We are all ears." Well, I actually I have thoughts on that. I've been thinking about this all morning because on days when I say that I'm going to stream, what I'll do is I'll just start to think about everything and I just run it through, and then I'll sit down and say, all right, this is what we're gonna talk about today. So I've had some time to think about this, and I wouldn't say that anything that I'm going to say is definitely been thought out because as you guys know, like I trade the market every day. I love the market. I love crypto. Um, Sometimes you guys may seem that you may see tweets from me where I'll say like, shit coins are cooked, or I'm glad I'm stabled and everything, but um I don't do leverage trading really at all. I tried a little bit. It's not really my thing. I don't think that the stress is worth it for me. And so I have no I have no real because of the way that I trade, I actually want the market to go up because when markets are better, it provides more opportunity across the board. So if I ever may sound like I'm doom and gloom and everything, it's not like I'm also actively shorting because I don't really do leverage. It's not really my game. I don't really love it. And so if the market is going down, then I don't really gain anything. If the market goes up, meanwhile I am stabled, but I also don't really gain anything. So I'm kind of objective from that side of things. So I did just want to like start by saying that because I know that there's a lot of people that will try to instill fear on the timeline because they're in active short positions or long positions, and so they're overly bullish because their bias is where their bag is. But I'm like either way, like it doesn't really matter to me. I've been continuously stabling for the past like year basically. And from my standpoint, even like I made money, like a lot of money during the BNB run that we just had. So when BNB was popping off, that was like one of the best months that I've had trading, and I did not go to sleep holding any spot position really at all. So to me, it kind of doesn't really make any difference as to what is going on in the market on any given day, at least from like a broader standpoint of my portfolio. So I wanted to like start by saying that, um, and that'll be where I guess we can begin is by stating my bias, which is of course, I would actually prefer if the market dumped super hard because I am stabled and because I would then buy the dips. But at the same time, I'm in no rush. Like, I don't feel the need to, like, I don't have to make tons of money every single day. I can kind of just like let the cycle play out and go from there. So, I'm gonna respond to a couple things in here real quick, and we can get going. So this guy said it's a trial, round tripped everything the past few months, made a lot, but nothing holds. Everything dumps between 2 to 10 million market cap. Yeah, it's why you kind of need to just. It's why what I do is like I'll just trade on a daily basis and then swap the stables, and then I'll just trade on a daily basis and swap the stables. And like when I'm trading new stuff, and we can kind of look at like the South Park coin, and we can look at like the Kit Kat coins, and we can go over like all that stuff. Um, but when we're looking at like low caps like that, I just scalp them. I don't like I'll give you a good example. I didn't trade any of the Kit Kat coins at all. I need to update my filters on here cuz my filters are not good. They are not good. I need to update my filters on this shit cuz I'm not seeing a lot. Well, maybe this stuff doesn't even have volume. Um but let me pull up yeah, let me pull these up and then we'll kind of just get started. Um all right. So, so let's begin here real quick. All right. Uh we will take a look at Jelly 2. Hey Ash, do you need help with anything in Discord? Trying to make one soul to trade. Um, what can you do? What can you do? That's what I'd ask. Let me take a couple sips of coffee. Feel free to just ask whatever. It'll help keep the conversation going a little bit. Uh, I'd appreciate that. But I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna start by talking about majors. We're gonna then talk about um so we're gonna talk about like Bitcoin and like the rest of the, where we are in the cycle. I'm gonna go over a couple tweets, and then I'm gonna talk about some trench coins, like the South Park coin and the Kit Kat coin. And then after we're gonna talk about like just straight up shit coins. So we'll talk about uh, coins like Fartcoin and XPL and those things. Digital marketing, social media stuff, clipping. Yeah, I could always use more clippers. If you want, open up a ticket. I'm gonna be spending a good amount of time doing admin stuff after stream today anyway. So if you want to reach out to me, go into the Kanto Discord, open a ticket, and do that. Um, yeah, I haven't gone through tickets in a little bit. That's my bad. So I apologize for that. I'll get to that today. Dude said, "Yo, meme coins never gonna die. They're not gonna die, but everything just goes in waves." And I'll talk about that as well too. Um, we can get into that conversation. Um, I think Third is here. Can you do me a favor if you wouldn't mind? Could you ask me that question again? or just say, bring that up to me maybe in like, I don't know, in 5 to 10 minutes so I don't forget. I would appreciate that a lot. Okay. I want to try to do this a little bit structured today. So if you wouldn't mind, allow me to do this and like I said, in a little bit of a structured manner. I am going to retweet this and we will get it going. All right. So, first things first, majors. Bitcoin is at 106K, ETH is at 3,600, Solana is at 167, and down here is Zcash, which is at 411, which has been absolutely mooning. This has been the best altcoin in a very long time, for sure. Which one? Ask if you think in like, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes, like ask if I think that shit coins are gonna die ever. And I think that that'll be like a good clip. I feel like I've talked about that a million times, but um, I feel like I can make a good clip out of that. So, um, so Bitcoin doesn't look great. And one thing that I wanted to talk about when it comes to Bitcoin and majors in general is if you like really zoom out. So we'll take a look at the 1 week chart for Bitcoin. Bitcoin has been going up only for the past 2 years almost. And yeah, there's this dip here, there was this dip here, but generally speaking, like the dips were for buying. And the thing that really sucks about this is the fact that even though Bitcoin is only $15,000 off of its all-time high, you have every shit coin, meme coin, altcoin that is just absolutely destroyed. And we can take a look at, for example, we'll take a look at Dogecoin, right? Like Dogecoin had one pump. It actually had two because, well, I guess this is where it was the first pump. So this was like the first alt signs of life that we had, which was April of 2024 and then November, December of 2024. And since then, Bitcoin has continued to go up, but everything else is dumped, which is why it's weird. Everyone's calling for an alt season, yet there's no strength in the market whatsoever. Solana has been one of the strongest altcoins this entire cycle. After the tariff dump right here, it went up only. It also doesn't look too great right now, even though Bitcoin hasn't dumped. And so the thing that worries me is that there's a lot of people that are calling for an alt season, but it doesn't really seem as if there's any real reason to think that we're in an alt season, considering that whenever Bitcoin dumps, we're not really seeing any strength in alts at all. What happened last cycle is that when Bitcoin started to cool off a little bit, all that money rolled into alts and everything mooned. And so that's why I think it's kind of weird right now, and why I have not been in alts for a long time, and why I've just been trading on chain when new metas would pop up. I saw this tweet this morning from JS, and he said bull I saw this tweet from JS, and he said bull market is probably over in my opinion. The good news is that some on-chain opportunity will still be available even if majors pull back much further. My biggest losses came at the tail end of last cycle right before opportunity slowed, so stay safe out there, friends. And I agree with him on this. And one of the reasons as to why I feel the way that I do, and I'm sure that he feels the way that he does about on-chain opportunities still being available, is that last summer or 2 summers ago, summer of 2023, Ethereum was at like $1,500, and there were a lot of meme coins that started popping off on ETH, and the main one was Pepe. So Pepe launched when everything else was taking an absolute shit. You can see right here, this was April of 2023, and Pepe went it went absolutely insane, and it only took um like, well, this chart's definitely wrong. Um because well, maybe not. Um What market cap would this have been? Okay, yeah, this is right. So Pepe launched and it went from 0 to 2 billion within like a month. It was so fast. And then there were tons and tons of other coins on ETH that started to pop off. And I personally was trading shit coins, meme coins on ETH all of 2023. They slowed down, and then Solana started picking up when Popcat and Dog with Hat launched in January of 2024, and then Pump Fund launched 3 months later. And so that's pretty much what happened. And we went into this full-on meme coin super cycle on Solana for the next 2 years. So, with that being said, I can see why he says that he thinks that the bull market is over. The one thing that I wanted to bring up about this too is, and I want to ask this to everybody that may be watching this in a clip or whatever. I want to ask this question. Let me see how I can phrase this. I can see why JS would say here that he doesn't think that we're still in a bull market. He said bull market is probably over, in my opinion. The good news is that there is still some on-chain opportunity that will be available even if majors pull back. And the reason why I agree with that is because all of the altcoins are absolutely destroyed. Like everything is dumping 10 to 20% like over the past couple weeks, and it has just been an absolute bloodbath. But Bitcoin is still at 106K. If Bitcoin was trading at 80K or 70K, everyone would agree that we're in a bear market. The only reason as to why people still think that we're in a bull market is because Bitcoin hasn't taken a dump and it's sitting like 15% off of its all-time highs. And so that is one of the reasons why I think it's tough when you're reading on Twitter. You have people that are constantly talking about the bull market is still on and like, oh, Trump is bullish on this and all this stuff. But the price action has not correlated at all with a bull market for quite a while. And it's something that, because we don't know if the cycles, if we're still even in cycles, we don't know if this cycle is going to pan out the same or different than last cycles. And everyone's trying to hang on to that last thing. Oh, well, 4 years ago it did this. And if this cycle is different, then alts are already in a bear market. Like we're already cooked for most alts. Now, obviously, Ethereum is still up a good amount. Solana is still up a good amount. I'm not going to say that and Zcash like is up a lot. I'm not going to say that we are not in or that we haven't been in a bullish market for a while. But like, I'll just give you one good example here. Look at AVAX. AVAX is literally trading close to the bear market lows. Like it was trading at $18 during the bear market, the whole bear market. And then it had one pump in when we had our alt pump in March of 2024, and then another one at the end of last year when meme coins and everything went crazy. And now it's just bleeding out. It didn't even come close. It didn't even come close to its all-time high from last cycle. And so I think people are still trying to hang on to the idea that there's going to be an alt season, and I just don't buy it as of right now. So anyway, with that being said, let me respond to a couple things here because we got a couple clips in there. And third, I want to talk to you about like a couple of those clips because I want to make sure, because some of those were really good, and I want to make sure that we get the best out of those. We might need to do some snipping on those. Devi said we're definitely not in an alt season. I agree, and we won't get one unless, and then didn't say anything else. Awesome. Tune Time said, what's up? Then this guy said, can you explain one thing to me, please? All right, let me just pull this up. Can you explain one thing to me, please? Why are our own people and KOLs flooding meme coins for no reason? Like yesterday, the volume was really good, but today, as soon as the volume dropped a little, everyone started posting bearish stuff. What if KOLs and those who randomly post bearish things just never FUD meme coins at all? Then the trenches would actually come with real volume. It feels like our own people want to ruin this market. Well, I don't think that people want the market to be bad. Like, let's just start by saying that. I don't think that influencers and stuff, a lot of them made their money from meme coins and shit coins. I think what people don't like and influencers don't like is that there's been a shift. And the shift was that meme coins 2 years ago, a lot of them were cabal launched. So they were bundled, they were coordinated, they were pushed, and a lot of influencers got allocations for meme coins, like whatever they may be. And then also, there was a time when influencers had a lot more motion. So there would be tokens that would pop off like Billy. Billy was a great example. Billy went from whatever it was, like 0 to $300 million market cap, and you could bull post your bags. And so what you were able to do is you could buy a bag of $20,000 to $30,000 of a coin at $20 million market cap, and you could hit a liquid 10x on it because there were so many coins. Like I could go down the list, but there was Billy, there was Mitchie, there was Popcat. There were so many different meme coins at that time that what would happen is people would get together and they would bull post, and then the coins would moon and they would go to hundreds of millions of dollars of market cap. And the issue, and why I think that a lot of people are saying, influencers are saying that meme coins are cooked, is because the days of being able to buy a meme coin and bull post it to $50 million market cap are just not here right now. And I think a lot of people are comparing what is happening right now compared to how things used to be. And objectively, things used to be way better back then when it came to meme coins. Even if a coin was cabal launched and bundled like crazy and coordinated, those coins would pump really hard, really hard. Like a lot of them did really well. People want to be able to buy a coin at $20 million market cap and ride it up to 300 million. People want that. And the issue is basically what we saw with KitKat, right? It's like this coin was a peanut style justice, like remember kind of coin, and it got PvP'd by 3 different tickers, and people don't want that because it's not healthy for like any of us. Only one of them hit like 7 mil, and the argument is that if everyone had just bought the main KitKat, it likely would have gone higher. Now to the other side of that, you have something like the South Park coin. This South Park coin, in my opinion, was like a slam dunk. The fact that this only went to $7 million market cap is absurd to me. South Park literally did an episode, and they came up with a concept for a meme coin, like a shit coin, and it only went to 7 mil. And now it's at 800K. Like this totally died off. This coin in a world that we had 12 months ago literally would have been a $50 million market cap runner. And so to answer your question, why do I think that influencers are fudding? I think it's because these influencers, myself included, do not have any control on what is going on with the meme coin market as a whole, because as time has gone on, the game has become more efficient, and people are not believing in stuff as much as they used to. It turned into like this whole trading thing where it's like everything is like super flippy instead of like let's hold to hundreds of millions. So it's not up to just, one tweet from one person or another tweet from another person. There needs to be coins that are doing really well, and people need to be able to hop onto a coin at a higher market cap, bull post, and then have these coins go to much higher valuations. Otherwise, we just get stuck with, this whole thing that's going on where coins are topping out at like 5 mil. So anyway, that's really why I think that things are the way that they are. Much longer answer than I expected to say, but let's just call it what it is. I want the market to do well. I want meme coins to do well. I want there to be opportunity. I think that the South Park coin could have been a $50 million market cap runner, if not higher. It was great. But the last thing is that whales are not trading in meme coins right now. And they're not trading in meme coins because they don't want to get PvP'd. And what was happening 12 months ago is you had whales with tons and tons of money. You had random market makers that were coming in and they were buying up and pushing these coins up super high, so that they could eventually get a coin listed on an exchange, short at the top, and then dump, and make money on their spot buy, and then make it money on the way down as well. and they're just not doing that anymore. You can see it like with Fartcoin. Like Fartcoin has literally gone down from 1.6 billion to 270 million without a single like 30% bounce along the way. It is absurd how market made this coin was and how hard this coin fell off. So, with all of that being said, it's not how it used to be, and the old whales that used to trade in this market and everything are not trading in this market because they don't want to get into a situation where they buy 100 SOL of a coin at 2 mil that they normally would want to ride to 20 mil. And then there's a PvP, and then the one that they're in dies, and then they lose tons of money. So if there's not a good enough risk to return for whales and people that have the capital to push these coins higher, they're not going to. And that's where we're at. And I'm part of that too. I'll even say it. Like I used to be when we were in AI season, I was buying 100 to 200 SOL of a coin at $5-10 million market cap, depending on what it was. And I would be riding that stuff to like 20, 30, 40, depending on what it was. So, and I'm not doing that anymore. Now, what I'll just do is I'll go in with like 20 SOL, I'll maybe like a million, catch a 2x, 3x or something like that, depending on the narrative. And, that'll be that, because I just know that the ceiling for a lot of this stuff is way lower than it used to be. Let me ask you a question. What do you guys think about everything that I just said? Because I just went on like a 10-minute rant. And by the way, I think I'm right. Like I wouldn't say that as somebody who likes to trade this market. Like I wouldn't say that if I didn't believe it. I'm just being on, like I'm calling it what it is. Binance was shilling Boat Kid. Same thing happened. Topped at 10 mil and died. Then they didn't post about it again. Well, yeah. I mean, trends come and go. Trends come, like that's the thing, is that like, there was a time when you have to think about it like this. Why did, and I'm gonna bring this up real quick. Let's see. When you look at something like Chill Guy, why did Chill Guy pump so hard? It pumped hard because every single corporate company was jumping on the trend, trying to get impressions. Their interns were trying to get, they were like, oh, this Chill Guy thing is super viral. Let's post about it. Memes have a life cycle. We realize that. And so when Chill Guy stopped being popular, all of the big accounts, like these corporations and NFL teams and all these people, they stopped posting about it because the meme just died out. But at the time, it ran all the way to like 700 mil, and I made good money on Chill Guy. I was super excited to trade this coin. It was great. But the thing is that you can't expect memes to just live forever unless, and this is the bull case for coins like Pepe and Troll, is that like those are memes. They're like eternal. Like everyone's been using them forever, and people still do use Chill Guy, but we understand that like what would the impact be if big corporations and everything started posting about Pepe and Troll? Would it have an effect? Yeah, it probably would. But I don't think that those types of coins, like memes that are embedded in culture, I don't think that those have any sort of like, those coins don't really need external stuff, because those are they're existing memes like that are embedded in culture. So let's see. I got a lot of stuff to respond to here. Um, what is the solution? Everything's just going to go in waves. There's going to be a new meta that pops up. The solution to the trenches is really that things are going to change and they're going to adjust over time. I'll give you a good example of that. By the way, I think I might have to buy this. Like like this is insane. 4 has always been, and this was done like a bunch of different times on different chains and stuff. It's crazy. I have to like remove all this just to see the chart. But 4, this was literally CZ's meme. This was a month ago. This was 33 days ago. This coin went to $300 million market cap. Binance Life went to $500 million market cap. There are going to be pockets of opportunity where like the attention just shifts, and it went recently over to Binance. And so it's not going to be, because there's no governing body in crypto. It's not like there's people that are sitting around a table that are like, how are we going to fix this? It really all depends on all of us. It depends on the sentiment. It depends on how bullish people are at that given moment in time. And I bring this up pretty often, where I say that one of the issues that with crypto in general is that it's like what society would be like if there was no government. There would be no regulation, there would be no rules, there would be nothing. And so while government, call it what it is, like, you know, it is what it is, like it tries its best to keep things civil. And the issue is that like there's no governing body trying to heal the trenches, to fix things. So it's like it's a literally like a living thing of its own, where it's going to do what it does, and that's kind of it. What's fucked is that the South Park coin is that there was actually no PvP and such a good narrative. Oh, I agree. South Park coin, dude. The South Park coin literally should have gone. Is this pumping? What's happening? What the fuck just happened? what what is this? Why is this why is this just randomly pumping? Yeah, anyway, this should have gone, in my opinion, to 50 mil. It had no PvP, best narrative, and I think it's a really good health check of where the trenches are right now. Let's see what else. Did CZ lose his motion? I think it's just like anything else. Like, it's kind of like, let me ask you this question. Do you think that Elon lost his motion? As time goes on, people lose motion. Yeah, what just happened here? That's so random, dude. What just happened? We were just talking about this, and then it pumped. I'm super confused. Appreciate you guys coming by stream, by the way. I hope that you guys find this valuable. And one thing that I'll say too is like, I'm not the kind of person to be like, I'm right. Like, you know, everything that I say is right. I think that I'm right on a lot of stuff, but just know that like when I say this stuff, like I'm saying it from a place of just being objective. There were times when I played Fortnite. I loved Fortnite, and they would have bad seasons, and the seasons would suck. And everyone would be vocal about that too. It's not because they hated Fortnite and wanted it to die. It's because they hated the current state that it was in. I think it's a similar thing for me. Like, I'm going to talk about like this stuff based on what's happening in that given moment. And it doesn't benefit me to be overly delusional about this stuff. Now, what I will say is like I run Kanto. And obviously, like as a trading group, like I want people to join Kanto, and I want our group to be the best, and I want to find opportunity. We did. Like I made like let me just pull my P&L. I'll show you how much I made on the South Park coin, just so we can talk about. I made more than this because the price of Sol went down, but I stabled like 7K off this. So it just kind of goes to show, like, and I bought at like 1.3 and sold it like 3 or something like that while scaling out on the way up. So there's not like there's not opportunity. Like, and I haven't traded a coin on Sol since this. But Just a little, just a little proof that I'm not just talking out of my ass all the time. Do I think do I think that the creator awards are the main cause of these PvPs? I wouldn't say main cause, but I think what happens is people want to make money in the least. Let me rephrase this. Do I think that the creator rewards are the main cause of these PvPs? I don't think that that's entirely the issue, but what I will say is that we're in a market right now where people want to be able to make money without taking risk. And being a deployer does not take a lot of risk. And so we're seeing a lot more deploying because it's low risk, high reward, where you're basically just giving your time. You don't have to put up a lot of capital. And if you deploy the right coin, you could change your life. You know what I mean? And so we've seen this with other influencers too. There have been a lot of names that we know on the timeline who have just started to deploy. Why have they started to deploy? I can tell you why. The reason why people have started to deploy, like influencers and stuff, is because back 6 months to a year ago, dude, you couldn't, if you were an influencer, you couldn't deploy a coin without getting called a rugger, like straight up. Nowadays, everyone does it, so it doesn't even matter. Everyone has become desensitized to it. Nobody cares. And so we've started to see that like a little bit more for sure. I'm not gonna lie, bros. I kind of want to buy this. How low did this go? 55. Yeah, man. I kind of want to take a stab at this, but I'm not going to like right this very moment in time. I'm gonna stream for a little bit and then I'll make a decision off stream. Plus, I gotta import some wallets and stuff. As someone who just tries to only trade guaranteed runners, sometimes there's not even one coin to trade in a whole day. Yeah, then just don't. I am the same way. I like to wait for what I think is the most obvious coin that pops up. The Kit Kat coin, this whole situation was not obvious to me because there were three of them and one of them was being shilled by, Cabal, and like, there was an owner one, and it was just like, I don't know. I didn't really want to do it. The South Park coin, I was like, dude, this coin makes so much sense, and there was no PvP. The reason why I even sold too early, because I sold like, around here, is because I have so much PTSD, which a lot of people have, by the way, where I was like, what if somebody launches another one and that one gets picked up? And so it's like, that's like another big thing that I guess we don't really talk about, is that like a lot of us would bid and stay in runners longer if we knew for a fact that that was like the only coin. The last thing that any of us, the worst thing that happens these days in meme coins is being right on a narrative, being early on a narrative, and then being in the wrong coin because the one that you bid ends up getting PvP'd and you get screwed. You know? Like that's the worst. And like I said, I'm the same way. Like I don't want to get stuck in a PvP. Yeah, I don't think I'm really going to touch on what I think Pump Fun or any of these launch pads should do, because I don't know what the, like, people say, oh, Pump Fund should do this. Pump Fund should change this, or they should change this or whatever. And the thing is like even me personally, I don't know. I don't think that the consequences of decisions may sound good in theory, but you don't really know how things are going to play out until they play out. And so it's fun to just say like, "Oh, they should do this or they should do this." Like I agree. Like there should definitely be adjustments, but like I am not going to speak on what those are, like because I don't really know what the outcome of certain things may be. Man, I really want to bid this. You just want your airdrop? I would put money on it to say that the pump fund airdrop, you'll probably have to work for it. I don't see a world where they just give people money for free without making them pump volume into stuff. Yeah, a big part of me wants to buy this. I feel like the risk to return here is like pretty good. But I'm also not in any rush to buy things right now. I think this is part of like what changed me is that if I miss a coin, I'm cool with it. Like if I miss the bottom of a coin, I'm fine with it. Like I would rather miss a play than get stuck in something that I'm really not happy about. Yeah, when I zoom out of this, like there's got to be a 20% bounce in here somewhere, right? Like goddamn. Like how is Hakimi holding up? Okay, we have the problem, but what are the solutions? I have no idea. If you're in chat right now, type 1. Type 1. Hey, so is Solana still the main trading platform for all the meme coins? No. If you are in chat and you are wanting a free month to Kanto, I will give some out. I'm gonna cap it at like the first, I don't know, 10 to 15. Join the Kanto Discord, open up a ticket, tag me, and um I'm gonna cap it when it's over. Sound good? Just figured I'd do something because I know that there's a lot of people that are out here that are trading and whatnot. It might need a place to hang out when things suck. What's up, Alexa? They say Wintermute is suing Binance. I have no idea. What do I think about the SOL price in November and December? I don't know. I can't really. I'm not good at predicting majors. All right, dude, I've already had like 20 people open up a ticket. This is crazy. Yeah, man, I might catch the knife on this shit, not gonna lie. I would do it off stream though. I'm probably not gonna do anything right now. I stopped Fortnite, yeah, like 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Dude, the new Fortnite looks kind of fun though. They did like The Simpsons. It's like the Simpsons map. You know what? I'm actually glad that you brought that up. I am going to download the Fortnite update while I'm on stream so that I can play it later. Oh, dude, I think it's already like downloaded. What the Dude, my girlfriend sent me a Pokemon TikTok from you like 3 days ago. Really? What was it? I'm assuming one of the recent ones. So, fun fact, a lot of people may not know, but not only do I post content about like the meme coin market and this stuff because I like shit coins because I trade this stuff on a daily basis. But I also run a TikTok and an Instagram page for Pokemon and get hundreds of thousands of views on there too. So, and I do the same thing where I just like talk about what's going on in the market. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, that is funny actually. My video showed up on like multiple of your guys' For You page. I actually think that's hilarious. Those videos did go very viral. What slabs do you reckon are undervalued? Um I'm just buying sealed stuff and I'm buying like vintage stuff that I like. I was buying alt arts, like PSA 10 alt arts at the beginning of the year and I just sold like all of them for like 2x what I paid. I'm just hanging on to sealed stuff at this point because I like my collection. I like the stuff that I have. But I also think, additionally, I think that Pokemon is also topped. So I might be like a. You guys might think that I'm just like a huge bear, but I'm not. I promise I'm not. When I see markets just like absolutely explode and I just see the froth that comes with it, eventually you kind of just get used to it. What are my thoughts on the new Pokemon game? I did not play it. I didn't play the new Pokemon game, but my girlfriend beat it and she sat on the couch and just played that game for like a month or like a week straight and beat it. You know what's funny is we talk about shitcoins and stuff. Dude, there's people in the Pokemon market that are literally bull posting the fuck out of it. They're like, dude, the Pokemon market is gonna go so much higher. I'm like, bro, same thing. Back in 2023, when I was like 2023 was a weird year for me because I was like so sad. Like there was a bear market, there was on-chain stuff, but like it was still sad. And I was just like ripping packs and collecting stuff. And I was buying like tons of shit. And then it's like my entire collection is up 4 or 5x what I paid for it. Dude, I have one ETB that I literally paid $300 for, and the last sale on it was like 3K. I'm like, what the fuck? It's all vendors cooking each other for 10 to 15%. Yeah. Dude, the vendors, the amount of like theatrics and gaslighting that these vendors do, like put into the mind of people, like the games that they play are just so fucked. Like I would argue it's like almost as bad as like the shitcoin market. Yeah, dude, you're right. Like the average person is not. I literally have been saying that. Like there was some dude who was like my girlfriend had like a PSA 9 card and it was like a $300 card. And in a 10 it goes for like 1500. And this guy was like, "Yeah, I mean, I would take it in if it was a 10 but not a 9." I'm like, "Bro, who the fuck do you think has $1500 laying around? Like it would be so much easier for you to move like a $300 card, which by the way, dude, $300, like the desensitate people are so desensitized to money that they're like, nah, man, like I don't want to take like market was $400 on this card. I can't do 380. I could do 390. It's like, bro, what? You literally are gonna like complain about $10 on a fucking $400 card? Like, what are you talking about? Anyway, I don't even know if any of you guys are in Pokemon, but like, dude, the Pokemon market is like, you guys think it's just shit coins? No, it is not. The Pokemon market is also fucking cooked. I have to pee really bad. Really bad. PSA are offering better percentages than vendors. Yeah, I know. I made a video about it that went super viral on Instagram. Let me look at how crazy that went, by the way. Yeah, I made a video of me just sitting at my kitchen table and I talked about that. And my video got 122,000 views on Instagram and 180K on TikTok. But yeah, I even said this in my video that like basically what's happening in the Pokemon market is the same thing that's happening in the shitcoin market where um the money is starting to trickle up. Like the money is going to flow into the big companies, kind of like what we've seen with launch pads like Pump Fun and Photon and Bullx. Like there's still money to be made for regular people, but a big portion of the profit that was made in Pokemon was made from vendors. And these big corporations are like, fuck them. We want to take that. We want that profit. Like we want that. Anyway, this is all irrelevant to shitcoins. All irrelevant. Offloaded a bunch of base jungle fossil stuff a few months ago at a card show. This guy who's vending comes over and he says he'll take everything and goes to try to give me 65%. Yeah, dude. Like it's unbelievable. Um and you know one thing, I'm going to say this too. And then we can talk about coins and stuff again cuz I don't want this to just turn into like, I mean, it's my stream. I can do whatever, but um I'm in, okay, I'll give you a really good example. You see this? There's a pinball machine. As if you didn't know, right? And pinball machines have value. They're collectibles. The difference is they're heavy, they're a liquid, they are not cheap, and um it's it just is what it is. Like it's just a market, right? It's a collectibles market. If the last sold for this pinball machine is, let's just say, 3K. If I go to buy it from somebody, it's 3K, right? Like there's last sales. A lot of it is dependent on condition and everything. But there is, and if I wanted to trade, there is no, oh, I'll take your game and 20%, any of that shit. Dude, that stuff does not happen. It doesn't happen in a lot of hobbies. It only started happening in the Pokemon hobby over the past like year or two, and it is the dumbest shit. It is so dumb. So stupid. Are you fucking serious? This is the most absolute bullshit thing I've ever seen in my whole life. Sorry, I'm like typing in Kanto right now. This coin makes no this coin does not make sense. Dude, this coin nobody's talking about it. The top 10 holders of this coin own 90% of it. It's complete crime, it's complete bullshit. Like this is just unbelievable. That's crazy. And you know what? Like a lot of people are going to be like, how can we capitalize on these opportunities? How can we spot these things before they happen? Dude, you got to be willing to literally like you got to be willing to fucking hold a coin that just went to 160 down to 50 in one can. This is pure crime. This is the most insane shit, dude. There's no sentiment. There's no, it's not vibes. This is crime, dude. This is market making. Nobody's buying this coin. Like, you got to be honest. This is fucking crazy. I'm gonna pee real quick. I'm about to piss myself. Sorry about that. I bet you that nobody in this chat can even tell me what Jelly Jelly is within the next 10 seconds. Yeah, I remember when this launched, it was like some like AI video like editing type shit. Oh god. Do I think that most of the influencers right now will lose it all in the bear market? I think that there's a lot of influencers that did pop up in this cycle and are constantly talking about being bullish and meme coins are the best thing ever and whatever, like all that kind of stuff. And they're just not going to take any profit. And then they're going to like I've already seen it on the timeline. There's a lot of people that are crashing out because they're holding alts that are dumping and going to zero. And so the short answer is yeah. I mean, there's going to be a lot of people, influencers or not, that are going to round trip this cycle, and you're not going to see a lot of them in the bear market. Like I'll be here. I was here like all like I round tripped a lot last cycle. And then I was just like, looks like I got to sit around here while everything sucks for the next 2 years. And if you scroll back and look, dude, I was tweeting every day. I was making videos every day. And 2023 was kind of tough, but it was all worth it because I learned how to trade in the bear market and I was prepared. Everyone talks about Cooker and JS and like a lot of these other like, traders that are absolutely nasty. And the thing is like they get a lot of shit. People give them a hard time about stuff, but I remember them specifically trading in the bear market. Dude, Cooker used to snipe the most insane launches on ETH, and he was making tons of money back then. And it's just funny because like you have a lot of like new people that give them shit, and it's like, yeah, well, they make a lot of money because they were here for the past like 2, 3, 4 years, and they were grinding their ass off, and they were learning how to trade in the bear market, and they then translated it into a better market. Meanwhile, there's a lot of people that are salty that have only been here for 6 months and then they get mad at, people like me and everybody else who have done really well. And it's like, dude, I literally was trading when everything sucked and I built my trading strategy during the bear market. And one of the biggest mistakes that I made is that I had such bear market PTSD that I didn't adjust my strategy enough to hold really good coins like during the AI season. So I was just constantly like scalping. There were a lot of coins that if I had held them longer, I would have made like way more money. But in retrospect, if I could go do it all again, I would do all of it all over again. And I wouldn't even change anything about what I'm doing because I like the way that I trade. And so anyway, yeah, I let's just put it like that. I think that a lot of people are going to end up round tripping a lot for sure. And it's not just going to be influencers, it's going to be a lot of people. How much worse was the bear market compared to this year's slowest months? Uh, this was way better than last bear market. Like last bear market, there was there were coins that popped up on ETH and there were like a couple different like there was social fi like there was this thing called friend tech and there were other opportunities and stuff, but it's not like back in August or July, there was a bonk meta where there were tons of bonk coins going to 50 mil market cap, and then BNB pops up a month later, and you have coins going to hundreds of millions of market cap, and then you have a coin like Astra that launches and goes from 10 cents to $3. Like there was a lot more opportunity this time around in this market, if you were to call this a bear market, than what was happening during last bear market, for sure. At least that's my thought. Damn, dude. I like I said, I kind of want to buy this. I feel like this can't just bleed out forever, but what I'm waiting for is like 50. Like if I could get an entry on this at like 50 and then maybe DCA a little bit lower if it just continues to bleed out, like I got to be able to make like 30 or 40% with some size on this. And by the way, I'm going to be here every day regardless. If Bitcoin dumps, dude, I'm gonna be here. If Bitcoin dumps, I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be making content, making clips, streaming. There's nothing else that I enjoy more than this market. I really like making content in crypto. I want to see it get better over time. But there's a lot of people that you see that are on Twitter on a daily basis that talk the most shit and that talk such a big game, and they're not going to be here during the bear market. I promise you that. I promise you that. Check this again? Yeah, I mean, maybe. Maybe. I've already told myself I'm going to stick around in crypto and meme coins and shit coins and doing all this stuff for as long as I possibly can. There's like nothing else that I would want to do. I love this. I have such a good time with it. You're gonna be here till you die. I mean, dude, if if crypto continues on for another, I don't know, 5, 10 years, I'll keep doing it. One thing that I'll say is even when you hit your goals, it's never enough. It's never enough. And one of the things that I had to do over the summer is size down because there was a time when in 2024 I was sizing appropriately. AI season came along. I started to size up and then I kept sizing up. And then when things slowed down with all the tariff stuff, I didn't change my sizing up until like a couple months after and it burned me. And so now I'm sizing appropriately again. So I'd say like all of like 2023, 2024, I feel like I sized appropriately. I feel like I missized at the beginning of 2025 and I was sizing in way heavier than I should have been. And now I'm like exactly where I want to be. But I can objectively say that. Like I did not trade. I traded 2023 good. 2024 was great. I traded the beginning half of 2025 not the best. Then I traded the past 2 months perfect, in my opinion. I just realized I haven't been listening to music this entire time. I'm gonna listen to some Wiz Khalifa. Yeah, what is this? Pokemon Strat. Hmm. Okay, I don't know if this is legit or not. So apparently Wintermute is suing Binance. This guy says, genuinely curious how much longer Pump allows people to make 6 figs by spam deploying coins in a single click. Orangey wants to make videos. Owari says, Bon guy was right. Crypto is truly useless. Machi was fully liquidated. Man, what is going on? Look at this. Dior goes, bought more troll and nub. And he goes, you're a nut job. Yo, Toshi, how about this? Why don't you open up a ticket in the Kanto Discord and we can chat? Majors are nuking and sentiment is low. Your only chance to make money is by trading meme coins. Don't let yourself get behind in the dust. Get on Meme Scope. It's your only hope. I like do agree with that to a certain degree. I feel like if you have no money at all, unless you're farming airdrops or just spamming, like you want to be a content creator or whatever, I would trade meme coins over perps for sure. God damn. Ash saved the market. Hey man, nothing I can do. I'm a participant, man. You want my wallet to track? Dude, I'll literally just give you access to Kanto. You can just have you can have it if you want. We love Kento? Yeah. We also love spelling it correctly. Kanto? Have I lost weight? I'm so glad somebody noticed. Yes, I did actually. I've lost 8 pounds, which for me is a lot because I'm not really the biggest guy. I'm 5'7" and I weigh like 170. But yes, I've been dieting. I've been eating like 1 meal a day, intermittent fasting, and I've been going to the gym every day. Did I let everyone in that added me in a ticket? I'm still streaming, so I haven't done anything at all. I'll take care of it after. No more Chick-fil-A. I have not had Chick-fil-A in a month. I've only eaten out twice, and one of them was for my birthday, and I got a steak, and it was so fucking good. I say I got a steak, dude. I ate so much bread. Thanks, Saf. I appreciate that, dude. Yeah, I was starting to look a little chunk. Not gonna lie, I was getting Dude, it was just because like I would hit a winning trade on like I'd crush it on a certain day. I'm like, bro, I'm going to fucking Chick-fil-A and I'm getting a 30 count of nuggets. We've all been there. You have something good that happens, and the first thing you're like, I need to go and I need to go buy whatever. That's why you unfollowed me. Saf, dude. You know, I really want to get your opinion as to how you feel about the all of the content surrounding talking about content and 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 like yapping and shit. Cuz I still have some of those posts that like creep into my feed and holy shit. Dude, there is a section of Twitter that is literally so useless when it comes to crypto like stuff. It's unbelievable. Still reminiscing about finding useless sub 10 mil on your live. Dude, what people don't remember is that I literally had to at the entire bonk team and I was like, dude, you guys need to push this. And I had so much of that coin at 20 mil. I literally was, oh my God, dude. I had like 0.5% or like 1% at like 20 mil. And I was like, this is so perfect. And it went from, and I sold, but it went from like 20 to 6 and then it pumped. And I'm like, bro, I literally was saying like to pump this shit. I was right, but I was impatient because I didn't know if they were going to pump it or not. And then they fucking did. Grilled nuggets? I'm not going to lie. I actually might try that. I've never had the grilled nuggets, but people say that the grilled ones at Chick-fil-A suck. I wonder what my all-time P&L on useless is. Let me pull it up real quick. Let's see how much money I made total on useless. I haven't checked this in a long time. Keep in mind the USD value is going to be lower because. All right, I don't even want to show this. I will, but like, I thought I'd made way more money than this. I think it's because I had to DCA so heavy at one point, and then I crashed out and sold. Only made 20K. The grilled nuggets are ass. Yeah. I'll try them. 200K of capital to make 20K. Double your risk to return. Well, it's cumulative. I traded it like 5 different times. So I scalped it from like 15 to 25, and then I sized in at like 20, and then it dipped down to 15, and then it bounced, and then I sold, and then, you know. So it's funny because people are like, you risked so much money to make that. And I'm like, well, some of the scalps I did well on, and then the others I didn't. So like, it only shows like the amount in and out, but it doesn't show the journey, right? I'm just messing. Well, I'm just saying, like, I'm just explaining. And also it's better. At least I made 20K than like losing 20K, right? Because then I'd look even more like a jackass. At least all that effort and trading went into making good money, right? I need to I need to pee again. Ash, I just want to say you gave me a free month for Kanto last week, and I have to say it's legit. I've been in Pastel, Shocked, Potion, Vanquish, and I'll definitely be sticking around and paying for Kanto for the long run. Not gonna lie, you, JS, and Cooker are the only people that stay active in their groups. Thanks, brother. You got me to stay here for sure. I appreciate that. I appreciate you saying that. Seriously. I try very hard to be active and help as much as I can. One thing that I don't say that often is that, like, I do like helping people and I like giving like my experience to other people and stuff to try to help them out. I realize that like you kind of can't change the world, but what you can do is you can impact like a small group of people. And so that's why with Kanto, I just say to myself, if I can help and if people join and they get enough out of it to where their life changes or whatever, that makes me really happy. When I log off at the end of the day and I'm at the gym and I see people talking about like, oh, why I started in Kanto with 5K and now it's 20, couldn't have done it without you. Like that's basically the like I sit there and I'm like, I don't even know who this person is like in real life because obviously we're all on Discord and stuff. And I just say to myself, like, whoever that is, like, they grinded, and I'm glad that I was able to help in one way or another. I have to pee again. Give me a sec. Coffee in, coffee out. Yeah. Well, what I've been doing is like, I've replaced, because I am on a diet and I only eat once a day, I've replaced eating with just drinking a lot. This does still have calories in it. Like this Gatorade, it has 190 calories in it. So it's still calories, but at the same time, like what I just try to do is I just try to drink like a lot of water, a lot of Gatorade, a lot of coffee. Have I ever tried creatine? I have like a full stack of supplements that I take, but creatine is not a part of it. Open my switch. I just want witness. Now I'm dripping. It's polo. I don't pray for promo. Say hello. I'll chat GPT creatine later. I don't really know enough about it to be able to speak on it. All right. I kind of want to get off in a few minutes. So, let's do this real quick. What else do we want to talk about before I hop off? Any questions that you may have, any conversations that we could wrap up. Where's the whiz? I don't play music on stream so that you can play your own music. You're 20 years old with a few thousand to your name, been in the market for around a year, and I feel like I failed this cycle. If the bear market hits, I'd appreciate some advice. Yeah, just you might not want to hear this, but call it tuition. Um, Depending on when people join in the market and what they trade, their experience is going to be different. A lot of people joined crypto in 2021 when NFTs were big and it was very easy to make money back then. And so even though it didn't take as much skill, like there was still a lot of opportunity. And so people were making money via NFTs and And so it was easier for them. And so if you showed up to the market in a harder time, what I would just say is this, like, treat it as like a learning lesson. I've paid back my tuition. Like I've made and lost tons of money. Um, but it was all worth it, right? Like, let's put it like this. I've made money over time, but months like I had last month on BNB where I like absolutely printed, it makes everything feel so much better because at the end of that month, last month, I sat there and I was like, dude, I was just in a flow state where I was like, buy this, sell this. I'm sizing correctly. This has this narrative. This is great. CZ's going to tweet about this. Like, it was just like, I was just on all cylinders. And so when the right environment came around, I was so ready for it. And I am really happy about that. And so, like, you can, I guess, little, let me find the BNB one. So I haven't traded on BNB yet. But this was like last month. And I just like could not lose, man. I was like I said, I was in like a flow state and I just kept on crushing it. And so all I'll say is like just stick with it and try to find your edge. What's up, Blue? The overall thing about my advice on this market is like the longer that you stick around in it and learn about it, the better you're gonna do. Like, just call it what it is. Like, the more you stick around, the better you're gonna do over time. Lock in type shit, yeah. Do I know the change of character strategy when reading charts? And if so, do you use it? I don't know what you're talking about. Please tell me what you're referring to. OGs always win when they know when to show up. Yep. I almost entirely faded the X402 thing because I was like, dude, there was a lot of money to be made there. I just did not understand it. It was just not something that I felt good at. How do you make money on BNB just sizing? No, I was just every coin on BNB was bouncing. So it's like anytime there was a dip on a coin, you could just buy the dip and then it would just, go up 50 to 100%. But that's also not really happening anymore. But I am probably going to buy this when I get off stream. X402 felt short lived. I agree. All right, everybody. Well, I think that's it for me today. I would be down to stream again tomorrow. Hope this was helpful. I got some good clips. I had fun. I also don't feel like I'm going to pass out, so that's good. Hi, Gigi. Thank you. I hope you're doing all right. We didn't even talk prediction market stuff. Congrats on your Ravens win. Yeah, well, we could talk about. What's actually interesting is I was thinking about that. Prediction market sports gambling is very interesting, actually. And you're right. We haven't talked about it. But like if you're in the middle of a game and you see that a team is getting their ass kicked, there is opportunity to trade that if you think that they can come back. It is very interesting actually, and I just haven't done enough. Good stream per usual. Even BNB turned into the trenches. Used to be like, hold this coin. Yeah, it was a lot better. If any of you guys need anything from me, shoot me a DM or open a ticket in Kanto. Like I said, and I'll do this one more time. If anybody wants a free month of Kanto and you haven't already opened up a ticket, feel free to open a ticket. I'll give you a free month. Beyond that, I'm gonna go and get some work done. I'm gonna bring everybody in that has already opened a ticket. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate your time and thank you for being here. Hopefully I was able to help. I know that I just kind of talked about theory and everything for a while, but I guess my main message is like, just don't give up. Position yourself well for good and bad times. I've told you, like, I'm very stable. I might deploy at some point in the future. But we're just going to like let it play out. If you ever feel like quitting, you really got to sit there and you got to ask yourself, like, is there another market that if I get really good at, I could make the same returns? The answer is probably no. Crypto is the best market ever. It just takes time. Like everything that's worthwhile in life just takes time. And so I just hope you know that. Try not to get too hard on yourself when you see people that are winning way more than you. You don't know the risk they're taking. You don't know the situation they're in. You don't know how much they started with. Everyone's different. Just stick with your own path, right? And focus on yourself. Don't focus on any of the other stuff. Don't engage with anything on Twitter that doesn't affect you or help you reach your goals. If you see like certain stuff, drama, dude, tune all of that shit out. Do not let that stuff bother. I literally will just scroll by. I won't even pay attention. I don't engage. If there's not something, if there's not content, if there's content that I see that is not helping me, then I don't even use like anything really, like TikTok, Instagram, any of that stuff. So once again, I don't have all the answers. Just giving you my experience. But hopefully I'm able to help. So I do hope you guys have a good day today. Thank you for coming. I'll try to stream again tomorrow at like 1 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Eastern. Once again, if you need anything, you can just comment on one of my posts on Twitter, shoot me a DM, any of that kind of stuff. I might take a while to get back to you, but I'm always open to help if I have a little bit of free time. Sound good? Otherwise, I'm off for now. And I'm probably going to go take my third piss in the past like hour. All right. I'm going to hop off. Take it easy, guys. Much love. And I'll see you next time I stream.